following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Reaction Monday here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao alongside the Hall of Famer Mo Patton in his patented TriStar Tennessee Red, apparently. And Navy shorts today, looking good. He straight up.
Well, I had somewhere to be earlier today, so I kind of had decent. I needed to look as decent as I was able to anyway. So, yeah.
Well, I wore the orange and white checker because it's just going to be a tradition. Well, as long as Tennessee's winning, the next show we're getting orange and white checkered, baby.
Well, you have to wear it when you can.
That's right. There's no question there. It's been
which is why I'm not wearing Braves paraphernalia today.
Although you are, at least wearing Braves colors, just no hat to match because sorry, too bad, so sad, love that.
Thank you, Eugenio Suarez and Julio Rodriguez and Brian Snitker. Yes.
Jeez. He's leading the league in saves, guys. Well, he's also leading the league in blown saves.
Is that a fact?
I
mean, it would seem.
Among closers, most likely.
If he's not, it's not from a lack of trying. Clearly. Trying to win the double crown,
I guess.
Most saves and most blown saves.
Jeez.
And I guess as long as you're pitching for Snitker, you've got a opportunity.
He got me a win in fantasy, 2-3 nights ago?
You don't want wins from your closer.
No, I don't. No, I don't at all. I got starters for that.
Exactly.
I got starters. I don't need that.
Yeah, just saves. Give me saves.
And ended up tying in my fantasy game this week because
there's no extra innings in fantasy, I guess, huh?
On the last, the Reds and who'd they play? The Brewers. He had some random Brewers middle reliever who got a hold. And I was up 6-5.
Y'all count holds?
Yep. Oh I was up 6-5-1. We were tied with 2 holds each. And then the dang Brewers pitcher got a hold, and we tied. I was so mad.
Holds.
I know, right?
Oh, my goodness.
What forces you to go get middle relievers instead of
just loading up on closers?
And so I think it's great until I lose because of
it. Right.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was a crazy weekend, man. What a weekend it was. We'll get to all of it here in just a few minutes because we gotta hop into the rundown ASAP because it's quite lengthy. So let's just,
as it typically is on Mondays.
That's correct. So we go now to the rundown, and go. Yes, there we go.
The Friday rundown the Monday rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy. ZCA offers a faith-based, Christ-centered education in Murray County. Give them a call today at 931-388-5831 or visit zioneagles.org to schedule your appointment today. Zion Christian Academy. Prepare for college, equipped for purpose.
Friday night football action. Blackman down Summit 54-21. It was Brentwood 14-12 over Henry County. Good Pasture 20-16 over CAK. Clarksville down Dixon County 46-20, while Northwest got a big win over Whites Creek 20-6. It was Green Hill 30, Columbia Central 19. Franklin Road Academy down Columbia Academy 46-21. DCA got a 50-6 win over White House Heritage, while DeKalb County down to Watertown 26-14. Eagleville was shut out at against Gordonsville 34-0, and East Nashville down Hillsboro 14-0 as well.
Ensworth with a 21-0 win over Holy Innocents Episcopal of Georgia. I'm sorry, that's 21-9. Ezel Harding with a 34-18 win over Chattanooga Prep, which I've never heard of. And you read this the other day, and I
still don't know who they are.
Still no idea. Friendship Christian with a 28-7 win over Grace Christian of Franklin. Greenbrier blanked Lawrence County 22-0. It was Harper 35, Sycamore 14. Hillwood with a 14-7 win over Montgomery Central. Davidson Academy downs Hunters Lane 39-6. Joe Burns 41, Houston County 6. Overton with a 42-0 win over Maplewood. West Creek edges Kenwood 28-20, and Smyrna 38, Laverne 6.
Upset of the weekend, perhaps. Siegel 31, Lebanon 28. Lewis County 33-14 winners over Spring Hill. Rockville down Lincoln County 24-21. It was McGavock 57, Stratford nothing. Middle Tennessee Christian 62, Mount Juliet Christian nothing. Mount Juliet a 41-0 winner over Warren County. It was Nashville Christian 31-7 over BGA. Nolensville 53, Liberty Creek 7, Page down Coffee County 28-14, while Pearl Cone took care of Creekwood 35-7.
Portland all over White House 49-21. It was Oakland 45, Ravenwood 31. Clarksville Northeast defeated Rossview 34-20. Riverdale 41, Shelbyville 3. Station Camp downs Gallatin 28-20. Stewart's Creek with a 24-17 win over Franklin. Smith County in a nail-biter over Westmoreland 13-0. Westview 32, Fairview 26. Brentwood Academy went to Memphis and got a 42-7 win over Whitehaven. And in 8-man football, it was Zion Christian 50, Tri-Cities Christian 6.
Eagleville tripling up on the wins this weekend. 2-1 over Notre Dame, Marion, Virginia, and Buckhorn of Alabama. Hampshire defeated Zion Christian 3-0.
Franklin defeated Middle Tennessee Christian 2-0. It was Middle Tennessee Christian with a 3-0 win over Davidson Academy. Cheatham County 2, Middle Tennessee Christian nothing. MTCS with a 2-0 win over McGavock. Mount Pleasant blanks Santa Fe 3-0. And Summertown downs Tallulah Falls of Georgia 2-0. Paintsville of Kentucky 2-1. And Farragut of Tennessee 2-0.
In girls soccer action, Arlington 1-0 over Battleground Academy. Harding Academy 2-0 over Beach. It was Hume Fogg 2-1 winners over Lexington Christian out of Kentucky. Hendersonville and Hutchinson School tied 1-1. It was Grace Franklin 3, Seymour 2, and North Hardin Kentucky 3, West Creek 1.
Saturday football, Lipscomb Academy remains undefeated with a 35-0 win over Calvert Hall of Maryland. In volleyball action, it was Eagleville down in Whitley County, Kentucky 2-1. Chelsea, Alabama with a 2-0 win over Eagleville. Middle Tennessee Christian blanks Christ Presbyterian Christian and St. Cecilia Academy 2-0 each. BGA with a 2-0 win over Middle Tennessee Christian. South Green 2, Clarksville Christian nothing. Friendship Christian with a 2-1 win over South Green. Summertown defeats Seymour and Station Camp 2-0 each before falling to Ronald Reagan of North Carolina 2-0.
Man, tough to go there. BGA 4, Bartlett nothing in girls soccer action. It was Ensworth 2-1 over Walsh Jesuit of Ohio. North Hardin, Kentucky gets the best of Fairview 3-0. West Creek 5-0 over Fairview as well. Giles County beats University School of Nashville 2-1. Grace Franklin 1. Ryle of Kentucky 0. West Jessamine, Kentucky 2. Grace Franklin nothing. And Jackson Academy of Mississippi and Hendersonville 0-0 tie.
Also in girls soccer on Saturday, it was Hume Fogg defeating Holy Cross of Kentucky 2-0. West Creek with a 5-2 win over Knoxville Halls. USN edges Sevier County 1-0. It was Siegel downing Holy Cross of Kentucky 2-0. And Lexington Christian Kentucky 4-0. I'm sorry, that was Siegel 3. Holy Cross, nothing. Man, I'm having trouble reading today.
It's okay.
It's Monday. Beach with an 8-0 win over Smith County, and Hendersonville and St. Agnes play to a 2-2 draw.
On Sunday, it was Walton, Verona, Kentucky 1, Beach nothing. Hatfield Academy, Mississippi 2-2 with Hendersonville. Knoxville Halls down Fairview 3-0. Siegel 3-1 winners over Hume Fogg, and University School of Nashville 3, Whitley County, Kentucky 0.
Pro baseball over the weekend. The Cubs dropped 2 of 3 to the Giants, winning 4-2 before losing 5-2 and 4-2. The Pirates dropped 2 of 3 to the Cardinals, losing 8-2, winning 8-2. Jeez.
It's Monday, man.
Before losing 7-5 and 4-3. It was the Reds 8, Brewers 2, Brewers 5, Reds 1, and Brewers 7, Braves 6. Also, the Reds 6. Can we be done? The Braves with a 6-4 win over Seattle on Friday. 3-1 they lost to Seattle on Saturday, and 8-7 they lost yesterday.
The Sounds could not salvage a split of the series against last place Charlotte. They win on Friday 9-1, but fall Saturday and Sunday 8-5 and then 7-6. Gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth to lose on Sunday.
Well, at least when they gave up, they.
In college football action, Wake Forest down Vanderbilt 45-25. Tennessee 34-27 over Pitt. Middle Tennessee State 34, Colorado State 19. Austin Peay destroyed Mississippi Valley State 41-0. And Jackson State 16-3 winners over Tennessee State.
MLS action over the weekend. Nashville Soccer Club and the LA Galaxy played to a 1-1 draw. The Titans in their season opener fell to the Giants 21-20. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later, although I'd rather not. Monday's volleyball schedule. That's today at 5 o'clock. Ezel Harding is at Mount Juliet Christian. At 5:30, Columbia Academy is at Middle Tennessee Christian. Providence Christian is also at Webb School at 5:30. And at 6, Siegel is at Brentwood.
Also at 6, Harpeth at West Creek. Culleoka hosts Mount Pleasant Spring Hills at Fairview, while Stewart's Creek's at Hendersonville. Lawrence County hosting Loretto. Marshall County at home against Murfreesboro Central. Riverdale goes to Nolensville, while Summertown hosts Columbia Central. Collinwood's at Zion Christian at 6:30. Smyrna is at Cane Ridge.
In girls soccer action, Zion Christian is at Community at 6. Fayetteville is at Culleoka at 6. Lipscomb Academy is at Gallatin. That's a 6 o'clock start, as are Springfield at Kenwood. Loretto at Richland at 6:30. Beach is at White House. Hillwood is at Portland at 6:30. And East Nashville hosts Ezel Harding at 6:30.
Pro baseball action. The Pirates are at the Reds at 5:40. That's a Bryce Wilson versus Mike Minor. Cubs are at the Nets at 6:10. And the Braves are at the Giants. That's an 8:45 first pitch. And that is your rundown. Thank you to Zion Christian Academy. And well done to Mo getting out of it. So there you go. All right, Mo. Let's take a quick break. We will get back and react. That's what we do here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. So stick around. We'll be right back after these messages. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Biao, Mo Patton coming to you on this Monday, and boy, is it Monday. It's the Reaction Monday here. Glad to be with you and hope that you guys will stick around as we continue to react to all that happened in the world of sports from across the weekend, including college football, pro baseball, and much, much more. No better time than the present, Mo, than to bring in a guy who got to see a pretty one win and one not so great performance, at least in the second half. Half of a terrible performance.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rexrode joins us now, and he is on the phone. Joe, can you hear us?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're good, man. And here, I can't tell you how great it is to hear your voice, because it means that everything is working right now. So that's definitely a plus for us. Appreciate you taking some time with us, man. I saw your tweet Friday as you were heading to Pittsburgh. So you went up there for the UT ball game, and then got back in time for the 3:25 Giants Titans kick. So busy weekend for Mr. Rexrode.
Yeah, busy weekend, and kind of some similarities, I'd say, in that both the Titans and Vols, things that you expect them to do well, they didn't do well. But when you make a couple winning plays late in the game like the Vols did, you feel great about it, and then you do what the Titans did. It's just a brutal loss. So a couple of really interesting games, and I don't know if you want to make too much out of either of them, but I do feel like Tennessee, with that win, has a chance to have a pretty special season potentially. And I got to say, I think there's cause for concern with the Titans.
I think on the UT end, I think you have to just take that win and go. They may not have clicked on all cylinders like you would have liked for them to, but also Pitt is pretty good. And so I think you just have to take that and say, we're going to get better, but we're certainly going to be proud to get this one in enemy territory. And, as for the Titans, and I'm sure Chris and I are going to get into it more later, but is Todd Downing, is he in any danger at all at this point?
I don't think so at all. I think that just knowing how Vrabel operates, I don't think so. I'd be surprised. I would say that I think he's well. I think it's certainly fair to scrutinize him. I think it is. I think it was fair to scrutinize him after last year. It's hard. Even the playoff game. I mean, look, I put way more on Tannehill. I think most people did.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, Tannehill didn't have to throw the ball to the other team. But if you look at especially two of those three picks, just completely predictable, completely telegraphed plays that made it easy for the Bengals to pick them off, right? And yesterday was a bad day for Todd Downing. So I think it's fair for him to be under scrutiny. And look, they brought in Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly's been an OC. Tim Kelly's worked with Mike Vrabel. So unlike with Jim Schwartz, who, I think he didn't come here to like try to take someone's job. Tim Kelly wants to be an OC in the league. And I would still be surprised if Vrabel made any kind of move in season unless things got really bad. Like you're talking like, well, punt on the season, get Malik Willis some starts, that type of thing. I just don't think Vrabel would do it. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But Todd Downing is under heat, certainly from the fan base and media, I think, and he should be. And this is a big stretch ahead from him because there's just some overthinking he does. And not to mention, look, I think that part of Tannehill's regression from the start of last season on, you got to look at Arthur Smith and the switch to Todd Downing and attribute at least part of it to that.
I'm not a very smart guy when it comes to football in particular, and in general, a lot of people would tell you. But if I'm running 3rd and 1 and I've got 6'3", 250 at tailback, I don't know why I do anything else. And the fact of the matter is everybody in the place knows that. The Giants know that, but you still got to stop it. Why do you run a tight end around there?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, Vrabel, of course, got that question after the game and said that was one of their, short yardage plays. Okay. Well, yeah, right. That's a fair question. Look, I mean, obviously, a game plan, there's way more information than we have, right?
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
sure.
I mean, there are plays where they see a certain look and they feel like they get it blocked up and it's easy, it's easy yardage, but they didn't get it blocked up. And I'm with you. I mean, to me, like Derrick Henry, like I know that like a coach might listen to the complaints about Todd Downing and say, well, see, you guys all complain about being predictable. And then when we're unpredictable, you complain about that. But to me, that's when you're predictable. That's why you build your team around Derrick Henry, and it's for the fourth quarter and short yardage. And yeah, I'd like to run out a clock too and just wear down an opponent, but that's where you're good being predictable. Be predictable. And if not, if you're going to be unpredictable, then sneak Tannehill because he'd probably get the yard too,
I just think
lateral.
Don't run lateral. Don't run parallel to the line of scrimmage. But I think, if I'm going to be predictable, I'm going to be predictable with a 2,000-yard rusher.
Exactly. No, exactly. It's overthinking. And, the Wildcat play earlier, I mean, I guess I didn't have that much issue with it just because, like, it's like they've had success with it, and at least it's go downhill right now. Take the ball straight ahead, downhill, get the yard. He dropped the ball, I mean, that one bothers me a lot less than the Okonkwo one, which, again, like, that's where – and I think that was just the call, and they went with the call. But, like, Tannehill right there, the way that got blown up, and I know, Lawan missed the ball, but the way that got blown up, that can't be the look that they thought they were going to get for that play, right? Like, there's a disconnect there, and that's where, you know what, if you get beat going with your best player, then you get beat going with your best player.
Well, that's what the Giants did. They gave their best player the football.
Well, and they didn't get beat, did they?
They didn't get beat.
Yeah.
Danico Autry got mugged twice and then got screwed by the court system on top of it on that 2-point play. It was absolutely just pathetic how you don't make the holding call there. I mean, the poor guy just got absolutely drugged to the side. Anyway, that has nothing to do with my question. I'm just saying Saquon Barkley had the football with the game on the line. Do you feel like the Titans should be worried, or as we said in our group chat, these are all fixable issues?
Well, I think like a lot of the defensive stuff, like I'm just going to rely on, body of work and say, you know what, I think they'll figure it out. I mean, they were the second best rush D last year. Barkley's special, and I hope he can stay healthy and show it all year because he's a tremendous talent. they gave up. I mean, to me, the long run changed the game. Then, of course, the Shepard touchdown. You give up those big plays. I mean, they dominated the first half. I think the defense can be fine. It can be very good. And I think yesterday was a good day for Tannehill. It was an encouraging day. I think the thing the cause for concern, a couple things. One, I just don't know with the offensive line. I mean, look, you got a total break playing the Giants with Ojulari and Thibodeau both out. And, they blitzed a lot, and I thought the protection was good, but they're about to see much better competition than that. And I just wonder with this receiving core, and I understand some Titans fans don't want to hear about A.J. Brown and his 155 yards in Detroit yesterday, but it just – when you trade away someone who can just beat whoever he wants and get you a play when you really need one, it's tough. And I thought at times yesterday you just saw so little separation or space for anyone out there. Now, I will also say, I mean, I guess if there's something encouraging, the rookies both did have some nice moments, especially Kyle Phillips. And I think that's what you lean into. But talking 3 catches for a combined, 30 yards for Hooper, Woods, and Westbrook and Kine. And, it looks very pedestrian. And then when you combine that with being so predictable on first down, that's the thing. And I know we just talked about Todd Downing. Don't, give it to Derrick Henry. But don't always give it to him on first down, that's where he can change. We'll see if he does. But do they have enough? Think about teams like the Giants blitzed a lot yesterday because they had to. They're missing their top 2 pass rushers, or we think Thibodeau will be that. Well, guess what? The Bills aren't going to blitz at all. They can play coverage all night with that D-line and get heat on Tannehill. So then what kind of space are you creating downfield? I mean, I think that's the concern moving forward is, do they have enough weaponry?
Joe Rexrode of The Athletic joining us here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. And Joe, you talk about the defense and how you feel like they're going to be fine. But the one thing that I said to myself as I was walking out of the press box to go to the post game was, how do you lose to Daniel Jones?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's fair. That's the thing. That's what's wild is his numbers actually ended up quite good. And I did not think he was good, and now obviously he's always been a guy who can escape. He's a pretty good runner, good athlete. So,
they did a pretty good job of playing. They did a pretty good job of playing to his strengths at times as well, moving him around and getting him out on the edge.
They did. But, you get the pick in the end zone, just a terrible decision by him. And that should be the game clincher, right? Mm-hmm. But look, the Giants, give them credit on the winning drive. They made a few big plays. He made a couple really key throws. And of course you get as Chris said, after they totally sucked the Titans in on the little boot. And then Autry definitely held. I mean, they still could have stopped that play. If Dylan Cole kind of realizes where his help is, but I know I'm nitpicking Dylan Cole in a small space with Saquon Barkley. So I suppose, you got to be realistic there.
I think you have to wonder why Dylan Cole is in there.
Yeah, well, I think that would be Monty Rice or Chance Campbell, in their goal line D.
Okay.
But, but still, yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. And that's a place where, linebacker depth bites them a little bit. But, speaking of linebackers, I thought Zach Cunningham yesterday was disappointing. I mean, the Titans paid him to be a 2-down linebacker, and he's a heck of a 2-down linebacker, and we've seen it. But he's got to play a lot better than that if their defense is going to be what it thinks it can be.
Did not hear his name a lot yesterday. Yeah.
It's that is unfortunate that he played as poorly, but look, it's
first game.
It's the National Football League. No team in the AFC South won yesterday, and 2 of them played each other. That's pretty rough. So it's the NFL, man. Who knows? It's the craziest game in the world. Who saw the Steelers getting a win over the Bengals? I took the Steelers plus 7.5. I didn't think they were going to win, but hey, let's talk about something positive. Josh Heupel And that Tennessee team going into Akron has to have some confidence. You get a true road win. Obviously Cedric Tillman had some really good moments and some not so great moments. Ahead of Florida, you just find out it's a 2:30 game in a time slot you don't want to be in. They need to take this Akron week and build on this confidence and go into Florida looking really good. Do you think that's where they're at? That's where their head's at?
Yeah, and Akron is bad. I mean, this is gonna be like Joe Milton's getting a half Saturday, and a lot of Dylan
sure.
Sampson and Squirrel White, and like this is a get some young guys some action game. I mean, Akron lost 52-0 to a Michigan State team I don't think is very good. This is just a name your score weekend. But in the meantime, when the starters play, they got some stuff to clean up. I mean, I think the kicking game, personal protector, block the outside rusher, for example. I mean, they got some stuff to clean up, and offensively, I think they're going to be obviously fine. And Pittsburgh, that's the thing is I wonder how much they're going to see an approach like what they saw. It's what Pat Narduzzi does, and he's always believed just show me college quarterbacks that you can hit those shots accurately, because I'm just going to keep letting you try it, but I'm going to come hit you, and so I think there's going to be a lot of other approaches. They're going to be a lot more, safe, I guess, against the Vols moving forward. But Tillman drops a touchdown. When it comes down to it, though, who makes the play? It's Hooker stepping up, and Tillman just be someone in the end zone, and so I think that they need to just keep working on timing and things like that. Keep the confidence going, and defensively, which is where I just really think they made some gains and found some people. I feel like they found someone in Aaron Beasley. They found someone in Kamal Haddon. Tyler Barron Byron Young, but both of them made plays, but Byron Young was really good Saturday. So, make plays, get off the field at halftime, stay healthy. And, look, I've thought all along they could beat Florida. I think everybody overreacted to Florida. Probably I did a little bit too, the win over Utah. But you see, the ups and downs of Anthony Richardson the other night. I think they might win that game if not for those picks. But he's also so talented, and it's just I'm fascinated by that matchup. I'm ready to fast forward to it.
Yeah, this weekend's not going to be fun. This is one of the worst weekends of college football. Just overall from top to bottom, it's just – which I say that after this past weekend, heck, who knows? We might get some more Georgia Southern Marshalls and App State.
And App States, yeah.
Georgia State and North Carolina went down to the wire. So, who knows, man? Yeah,
if you're a Sun Belt fan, you're rolling in it.
Yeah, you're great weekend, guys. Joe, thanks so much for taking time with us today. We appreciate you being flexible with us, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, guys. Always great talking to you. Thanks for having me.
All right. That is Joe Rexrod of The Athletic joining us here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll come back in high school football from this past weekend. Big upset we just mentioned earlier, and a lot of other things that went down that we'll talk to right after this on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all stick around.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy in Wham married the best-looking girl, Bananarama, so other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, on this Reaction Monday as we continue reacting to the weekend that was in sports. We go now to the prep ranks. High school football, Siegel with a game-winning field goal to beat fourth-ranked Lebanon. Listen, that might be the biggest upset in high school football in Tennessee this year so far. And I'm not saying Siegel's not good. I'm just saying
Siegel opened the year with that win against Green Hill. I don't remember if it was at Green Hill or at Siegel, yeah. but that one kind of got some folks' attention. And now this one
beat Rockville last week with 3 pick sixes.
I think Siegel has kind of run under the radar in Murfreesboro for some time just because they are basically across the street from Oakland. So,
yeah. And obviously the 4 or 5 years in a row that they ran into Independence in the playoffs, just unfortunate. They had some really good teams those years, and they just happened to be playing
Smyrna.
Oh, that's right. That was Smyrna, not Siegel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're
right. Siegel being where they're at, but also the Laverne win kind of had people scratching their heads like, okay, really thought you'd win this one by a little bit more if you are what we think you are.
Well, and that's why. And so I don't know what Siegel is, but I do know that they have a new coach, I believe, in Adam Renshaw, who I think had been out in West Tennessee previously and had some success. So, kind of create a new culture over there, or a renewed culture, maybe. But are they 4-0 now? Is that what?
Yeah, they're 4-0. Far as I'm aware. I mean,
no. They lost to Rockville.
Okay.
They lost 27-10 to Rockville in week 3.
After barely beating Laverne. That must be why we were a little confused.
But yeah, I mean, we feel like that Lebanon team is really good.
They certainly were last year. I mean, we were.
And most of that was coming back. So, and Lebanon was, off and running. They had won 3 games against Antioch, Wilson Central, and Cookeville. Take that for what it's worth, but they had scored 40 points in each of those, at least 40 in each of those. So got pushed a little bit, and Lebanon will get pushed again this weekend when they get back into region play and they go to Coffee County.
Yeah, I mean, Coffee County with, lost this week, but, no shame in, in losing to Page, who comes back from, 5A state title appearance, and, keeping that within 2 touchdowns after winning the coffee pot kind of makes you think, okay, this Coffee County team is not bad. They can play.
I think we can learn a lot about both Coffee County and Lebanon in this ball game down in Manchester on Friday night. It's going to bear watching, I think. So, but yeah, that's again getting back to Siegel. That's a big win for the Stars, I think, and be interesting to see where they go from there.
We kind of
now. Where they go from there is, again, across the street, or someone comes across the street to them. It's Oakland Siegel this week.
Oof. Well, you find out. And look, Oakland Ravenwood was a good ball game. I don't think anyone expected Ravenwood to win the game. I don't think many people expected Ravenwood to be in the game, but they certainly pushed the Patriots to the edge.
Now, I expected them to be in it. I did not expect them to win it, but 2 touchdowns is probably about right, just based on where both those teams are. I'll tell you, I got a chance to talk a little bit with Josh Corey, who did color commentary for the Friday Night Rivals game between Oakland and Ravenwood, and he was very impressed with the improvement he's seen out of Chris Parson from last year to this year. So if you thought Chris Parson was good last year, hold on to your hats, apparently. So,
hey, certainly when you have a player of that caliber who's committed to play in the SEC, that's what you expect. You expect him to be able to take over a game, even if it's at the 6A level. You expect that kind of ability from him, and he certainly proved it when the lights were brightest.
Yeah.
So, we looked a lot at that Region 5 4A last year, the 9-team region that had Marshall County, Pearl Cone, Tullahoma, Montgomery Central. They were all ranked in the top 10 for parts of last year, if not all of it. Right now, Greenbrier, Marshall County, and Pearl Cone sitting at 2-0 in the region, but it doesn't feel like this region is as wide open as it was last year.
No, it really doesn't. I think Tullahoma has dropped off a little bit.
They have.
I think Montgomery Central has dropped off a little bit. And so you're kind of left with Pearl Cone and Marshall County, which had been kind of what you'd expected traditionally out of, that region. Although Greenbrier, with that big win over Lawrence County this past weekend, it's kind of inserted themselves into the conversation.
Yeah, obviously lost to Springfield to open the year and then took a tough one against at White House 20-18 to open. But then a couple wins, Glencliff and then Lawrence County. I thought Lawrence County was going to be, I thought they would play a little bit tougher against this Greenbrier team. Obviously they didn't. So you're looking at, Marshall County and Pearl Cone last year was an absolute dogfight, and looking like it will be again on October 7th. So I'm excited to see how that one plays out, but I'm really more excited about the 3-4 matchup. Like who's going to be the other 2 playoff teams out of that. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then, before the season was started, I thought that the region over that includes Columbia Central, Nolensville, Region 6, 5A, thought that was going to be a little less exciting than others thought. Right now, Franklin County looks pretty darn good and looks like they could challenge Nolensville and Columbia Central this week. Nolensville's never beaten the Lions. So
that's not right.
I'm sorry. They've lost 3 in a row. Is it just 2?
Yeah. Hang on.
Did they win the first time? Is that what it? Okay.
They won. Central has won the last 2 games.
Right.
Nolensville beat them before that and beat them pretty decisively, I think. Hang on.
even still,
let me get my stuff in front of me.
Nolensville came into that game last year expecting to get a win and did
not. Yeah.
Oh
yeah, they beat Columbia Central 28-0 in 19.
Okay.
So
okay, that was the first game they played each other because the school opened in 17.
That could be because they were in 4A before that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was the first time they had played.
But Nolensville and Page both 4-0.
I tell you, I don't think any of us realized, or I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I didn't realize how good Franklin County is.
After seeing them last year against Columbia Central, I knew they had athletes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they would struggle up front as they have in the past few years. They're clearly not. But that probably has a little bit to do with that coaching staff that now includes former Tennessee
Tracy Hayworth.
Yeah, Tracy Hayworth he's making a difference in the weight room, if I had to guess.
Well, he's probably making a difference up front as well.
And so I think Franklin County is going to challenge both Nolensville and Page. And the fourth playoff spot comes down to Columbia Central, Lincoln County, and Spring Hill.
Man, that's a tough outlook just for the fact that you just feel like Columbia Central should be better than they are.
Yeah. But I mean, and look, they had Green Hill on the ropes.
Oh, by the way, Page and Franklin County is Friday night.
That's going to be a huge game.
Over in Rutherville.
Pay attention to it
if
you care at all about 5A high school football. But yeah, this is, I mean, I'm telling y'all, this high school football season has been a little crazy.
Already.
Oh, and by the way, Friday night, Mercury is in retrograde. So who knows? Don't call your ex. Just trust me. All those feelings you're getting, it's the stars. It's not.
Just ignore it, huh?
Ignore it.
Ignore it.
Get through the weekend. But that you never know what can happen in high school football, and I'm telling you, man, this year so far has been a lot of fun.
Meanwhile, this week's Associated Press polls are out, and salute to Kid Hartsfield and the Mount Pleasant Tigers, who are ranked number 9 in Class 2A, tied with East Robertson at 3-0. Got a big one Friday night.
Huge.
Got a big one Friday night at home against also receiving votes, Loretto.
I mean, and after that, lost to Wayne County, that's a little surprising. But probably the Southern Middle Tennessee game of the week, if I had to guess, Mount Pleasant, Loretto. I mean, as I look at the schedule, I certainly don't see. Yeah, I mean, to me, this seems like the big one.
Mount Pleasant is the only team from that region that is ranked. Loretto is receiving votes. Forest received a vote. So, yeah.
Any change at the 5A level?
No. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are changes somewhere, but Page is still number 1.
Gotcha.
Springfield is number 3. Nolensville is number 5.
I think Springfield is. I'm telling you, man, Springfield's good.
Yeah. White County got a first place vote, and they came in at 8. I think that was the first time they've been ranked this year. Green Hill is at 9. Franklin County also receiving votes in 5A. And in 6, Lebanon fell to 8. Oakland's 1. Collierville wedged in there at 2 ahead of Maryville. I guess Maryville losing to Alcoa kind of dampened folks' enthusiasm for the Rebels.
Look, it's the first time they've lost in a while to Alcoa. Ironically, the first year after Gary Rankin leaves. But it's still Alcoa.
It's still Alcoa. I mean, I just don't know that you can penalize Maryville for losing to Alcoa. But
and I know it looks it was 20-14. I mean, Maryville had the ball with a chance to win. Now they threw a pick six, but it wasn't a 2-touchdown game.
Mm-hmm.
Is my point,
right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Just happened to end up 2 scores.
Blackman was tied for 10th with Riverdale last week. They are now number 9 by themselves. Cane Ridge is 10. And Siegel tops among also receiving votes. So a lot of people were impressed with that Lebanon win. Let's see. Marshall County is number 5 in 4A. Pearl-Cohn is number 8.
Interesting.
Very.
Well, Pearl-Cohn is 2-2, even though those 2 losses are, again, hard to penalize a team for
Cane Ridge
losing to Cane Ridge NBA.
Yeah,
so,
but hey,
we
don't have a vote, so it's not us.
We didn't do it.
I wash my hands.
There you go.
Let's see. McKenzie and Fayetteville 1-2 in 1A. Moore County 5. Let's see. Friendship Christian 1.
Okay.
ND2A. Jackson Christian 2. Jackson Christian, who, well, don't say that to Seth Anderson. Let's just put it that way. Lipscomb Academy is number 1, ND2AA. CPA is 5. Franklin Road Academy is receiving votes. They're the tops among receiving votes. So basically they're number 6. MBA Baylor McCallie, Brentwood Academy, JP2 or Pope Prep or whatever it is that they're claiming now. ND2 AAA with Ensworth, the only other team receiving votes in the 11 school D2 AAA.
Well, there you go.
When half the schools in a classification are in the top 5, something basically wrong.
There's that. But what are you going to do? You can't have D2 AAA playing against some of those teams in AA. It's just not fair. Now, granted, CPA and Lipscomb could certainly play with them, but
certainly one of them.
Outside of that, it would just be unfair.
Life's not fair. Fair is something you go to for cotton candy and rides, man.
Hey, I'm just saying.
No, but you're right. You're right. And the thing is,
there's a difference between those schools.
There is a difference in those schools, and there's a difference in how those schools do business. I think that's the bigger thing.
That's the key.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, it shouldn't be called AAA. It should just be something completely different.
Premium.
Yeah. It's just it's a completely different world.
It is. It really is between D2 AAA and the others.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got to talk a little Braves. So, and when I say a little, I do mean, in fact, a little. So stick around here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990
or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mo?
Chris?
We said we would do it, so we have to do it. It's time to talk a little Atlanta Braves. And, man, after last night, I'm just frustrated because this is a team that we talked about we needed to win for. We can still win for, but now we got to sweep the Giants to do that. And I don't love the prospect of having to do so, especially when, you know, the Braves were able to come back from a massive deficit in the ninth inning last night
and still couldn't get out.
Michael Harris and
he scored 5 runs in the ninth.
And Robbie Grossman.
Michael Harris's second home run.
Do you know that Michael Harris leads the National League in OPS after the 6th inning?
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
The only player in the major leagues better, give you one guess.
Aaron Judge?
Yeah, that's it. It's Aaron Judge.
And Michael Harris.
Man, that's insane.
That is insane.
I mean, a rookie who is able to be that productive.
A rookie who didn't come up till late May.
Yeah. But to be that productive in crunch time, yeah. My God, how you could literally not ask for more out of a young man.
Nope.
He's been phenomenal defensively.
But I think, and because scrolling through Twitter as I am wont to do, I think we're getting ready to ask for more out of him. Don't be surprised if he's not batting leadoff for the end of the year.
Well, I mean, with the way and the way that Ronnie has become normal.
Yeah,
he went from being,
otherworldly
to just a good player, a great player, even just not one of the best. Just simply because his knee's not 100% yet. We're getting a good player at 80%. I'm fine with that. I will take Ronnie hitting ninth as a DH if it means Michael Harris hits first and gets that extra AB every game. I'm here for it.
And you know what? I think he'd be here for it. Him being Ronnie.
Absolutely. I think Ron.
I think people have a misinformed impression of that young man, for one thing,
and his view of the team.
And I don't know how you can watch him interact in the dugout and with fans and that kind of thing, and still Braves Twitter be what Braves Twitter is. But
because it's Braves Twitter.
Because it's Braves Twitter.
It's Twitter in general. Let's be honest. It's overreactions everywhere on Twitter.
Yeah. But I think, unless Snitker continues to snit.
Which, let's be honest, that's what he does.
That is what he does. And
He's old and
I guess that's why guys love playing for him so much, because you're going to get every opportunity to fail.
The positive is more times than not, they don't. And again, just throwing this out there, if the Mets aren't having their best season in franchise history to this point,
this isn't even close.
The Braves are head and shoulders running away with this thing. So, look, I get as frustrated as anybody with Brian Snitker, but the fact is that he manages this way for a reason. Last year in the playoffs, it paid off. So if it doesn't pay off this time, let's have a conversation. But at this point, it's hard to argue with his mentality other than your closer again, and it doesn't matter who it is.
Apparently it doesn't. It doesn't matter if it's Will Smith or if it's Kenley Jansen or
I was going to say Mariano Rivera.
Whoever, yeah.
It might be. Well, I don't know. He might could have screwed him up.
Maybe it's just closing in Atlanta with Brian Snitker. I don't know. But, if we can get Will Smith October out of Kenley Jansen,
I'll take it.
Yeah. But there's
no guarantee of that.
There's no guarantee of that. But, in his defense, there was no guarantee of Will Smith October in Will Smith September either. So, I mean, maybe he's just playing chess and the rest of us are playing checkers. I don't know.
I love it. I mean, Snitker, he's leading the league in saves. Well, he's also leading the league in ERAs among closers. So there's that. But hey, look, Braves are having a fantastic season. We are being critical because we expect this team to win games that they're leading in the ninth inning. And that's not an unreasonable expectation for the defending World Series champions. If they didn't win those games, they wouldn't be the defending World Series champions, Mo.
We're snitpicking.
Nice. I don't know. That would be okay. That would be one of the best column names for a Braves
beat writer
or beat writer in history.
Snitpicking.
That would be phenomenal.
You owe me.
Whoever picks that up.
We should start a Twitter account.
Just start a Twitter account, Snitpicking.
Just to have it.
But yeah, so look, we are certainly being a little critical, and we're walking to the edge as we like to do here with the Braves. But this team is still well within reach of winning the division. They're 99.9% going to the playoffs. I mean, literally.
I'll tell you what, though, it was fun Saturday seeing the Mets at the top of the wild card standings.
Very, very interesting, especially that they hadn't been there all year. Braves being in first place for just a moment. But look, again, we just got to be close
when they come to Atlanta.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance.
Tonight, it's Spencer Strider, 10-4 with a 2.69 ERA, going against Alex Cobb, 5-6 with a 3.68 out at Oracle. First pitch is at 8:45. So get you a nap if you can.
Yeah, I don't have a way to watch the Braves, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've not been watching them all year
for
the most part.
That's unfortunate.
It is what it is. I've probably got a better heart for it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Now, that being said, tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll probably be in the hotel room that likely has Bally Sports.
You'd like to think?
Hopefully,
there you go.
We'll be able to at least watch them in San Francisco the next 2 nights.
Well,
but
get you a nap.
I will. Trust me, by midday on Wednesday, I will be taking a nap.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
You don't go to Gatlinburg without getting to a state of mind where you need a nap midday. So tell us what happened this day in Braves history.
Oh, let's see. September 12th, 1974. Yeah, Darrell Evans hits a grand slam, but Cincinnati hits one in each end of a doubleheader sweep of the Braves at Riverfront Stadium. Evans' slam in the top of the second inning gave Atlanta a 4-0 lead in game one, but Cesar Geronimo, which is one of my all-time favorite baseball names, by the way.
That's another all-name team.
Answered in the bottom after the host scored an unearned run and sparked the host to a 9-6 victory before Johnny Bench drove in all 6 Cincy runs in the nightcap, following his 2-run shot in the first with a base-clearing blow in the 4th inning of a 6-2 victory. So this was not such a great day in Braves history, but see what happens later today. Maybe we can make a little Braves history.
Maybe so. I've been watching Banana Land on ESPN. It's the documentary on the Savannah Bananas.
Oh, really?
And they had Johnny Bench come out during a game the other day in one of the shows, and it was pretty cool. They actually have some guy that pitched for the Red Sox. He's like 70-something years old.
Bill Lee.
Yeah, Bill Lee. He pitches for him. How do I not know that name?
I don't know.
That name's got to stay. I'm looking at the TriStar. But, yeah, he pitches for him, and it's pretty cool. And that documentary is great. So
I'll have to check that out.
Check out Banana Land on ESPN Plus. It's pretty cool. All right, we are going to take another quick break. When we come back, more reaction from the weekend. We've got we talked a lot about the Titans. We're going to talk a little more. We've talked a lot about Tennessee. We'll talk about the rest of the SEC. We'll check out the SEC roll call from my buddy Matt Mitchell, and just trust me, you're going to want to stick around for it. Back on me.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Mopatin. Monday, Reaction Monday. Oh, man, what a weekend of college football.
Goodness
and
gracious.
I have 7 superlatives here. We're not going to go through them because you didn't see them until today. But I did want to mention a couple of superlatives. And we'll try. We may try to do this next week if just keep looking.
When we're a little bit more prepared, maybe.
Best performance of the weekend, worst performance of the weekend. I thought obviously the worst performance had to be Nebraska.
Well, there was only one performance that resulted in somebody getting fired. So
this is This is what I'm saying. So
I want to get on that for just a second because I've been tooting that horn for a minute, but AD
I ain't got no lighter
for what?
For a match for the $7.5 million you're about to light on fire.
Oh, goodness gracious! Beyond that, though, well, Trev Alberts, another former Nebraska great, tried to explain that decision and made the comment that Scott and I talked, and we realized that 16 and 31, I'm sorry, 16 and 31, I don't want to overstate it. 16 and 31, which is his record at this point, is unacceptable. They come to that conclusion after losing to, no, you're not going to steal this from me. They come to this conclusion after losing 45-42 to Georgia Southern. Now, if they had beaten Georgia Southern, was 17 and 30 acceptable? That's my question.
Sorry, I was going back to Ed Orgeron. Nope. Even Ray Charles can see that, brother.
Yeah. But, I mean, Scott Frost shouldn't have gotten fired over one game.
No, we shouldn't have. Listen, look, okay.
And he certainly shouldn't have gotten fired when his buyout was going to get cut in half in 2 weeks.
I said it on Facebook. It makes no sense. You literally lit $7.5 million on fire.
Because you didn't want this guy to coach against Indiana.
Exactly. Because Oklahoma doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now,
you gave Scott Frost, the man should have been fired.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. You could have said to him, listen, Scott, on October 1st, you don't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can either do this today if you'll cut your buyout in half at 7.5.
If you'll take 7.5 right now, then we can get this done right now. Or you can coach these next 2 games knowing that these are your last 2 games.
There you go.
But we're not giving you $7.5 million to leave 2 weeks early.
That's the conversation Trev Alberts should have had. Shouldn't have had nothing to do with 16 and 31.
Scott Frost shouldn't have gotten into this season.
But it was Martinez's fault, Mo. All Nate Martinez.
Yeah.
See what he's doing right now.
Hello.
Just saying.
Yeah, K-State is what, 3-1 or
and
something?
Just absolutely tore the field up. Which Missouri's not great, but
still.
But
it's a Power 5 team, and they beat them, which is more than Nebraska did this weekend.
Exactly. So, worst performance had to be Nebraska. Best performance to me, I thought it was App State.
Going to College Station and winning and leaving very little doubt.
Hard to say. It's also probably the biggest upset, which was a superlative. I think the biggest upset, this don't have to be college football. I think the biggest upset might be the Colts and Texans tying.
I don't think you can draw overarching conclusions out of 1 week, but the AFC South does not look very good.
No. Well, I mean, trust me, they haven't been great over the last few years, but hey, listen.
But they've had at least one. I mean, they had the number 1 seed last year.
Okay, but the Titans also lost week 1 last year.
And that's why I hesitate to really push the panic button on this team right now. I'm really more of it's one game with them right now.
I did think, however, the best jersey of the weekend you commented on, and we're going to look at it here. If this isn't the best jersey of the weekend, I don't know what is. This guy's phenomenal.
If you're not watching, I'm sorry, but a fan at the Giants Titans yesterday was wearing a modified A.J. Brown jersey.
I'm really mad he didn't go far enough to get the shoulders.
The shoulders, yeah.
I mean, you really got to, if you're going to go, you got to go all out.
I wonder what the front looks like. I mean, I hope
probably the same. Probably put the 16.
He turned the second one on AJ Brown's jersey on the front and back, we assume, into a 6 and taped over the ROWN and made it URKS for
so
Traylon. But he did not address the shoulder 11s, which is a little half-assed. Can we say that?
Okay.
I hope so.
It's the internet.
Yeah, there we go.
Say anything.
Yeah,
it's not like we're on the air on radio, but maybe you could just say that those are just those are just parallel lines. They're not ones.
They're not ones.
They're just they're a
just
design
accents.
Feature. They're a design feature. Yeah,
design feature. Listen to you.
Of the sword.
That you're a graphics guy or a design
I'm just saying,
feature.
It's a design feature.
That's how he gets away with it,
there
huh?
you go.
But yeah, if that's not the best jersey of the weekend, it's certainly top 2, and it ain't 2.
Oh, coaching genius of the weekend. Got to go.
No, it's not.
Brian Daboll going for 2.
And
On
fantastic play for it. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they say. Go for the win on the road and the tie at home, and he did. Well, it's either him or Mike McDaniels. Did you see Tyreek Hill's tweet coming out of the Dolphins game? Let's just say he said that Mike McDaniel needed a wheelbarrow to carry a certain
Matzik style.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Interesting. I don't know what he did to.
I'm not sure because
I mean, they won, but that's not something they don't normally do against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So there's that. Coaching malpractice, we've talked about it. You can't run a fly sweep on 3rd and 1 with – listen, that play used to work when you had Jonnu Smith. But Chig ain't Jonnu. Jonnu could fly.
Well, and again, as Joe Rexrode was saying earlier in the show, maybe it works if you get it blocked up. They didn't.
Yeah. Guess who? And I tweeted it. I tweeted it after the false start to start the darn drive. He missed it. But I mean,
it wasn't.
But at 42 versus 47, you just don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
we cannot get out of this era fast enough. We cannot get out of it fast enough.
Well, it may only be one more year.
I'm praying. Pray to Jesus. Anyway,
what else you got?
That's all I've got.
That's all you got.
We're gonna take a semi break here, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually just gonna play this video, and so yeah, let's do that. And when we come back, we'll talk about it. So.
Order of business, no more late night West Coast games. Okay, we're the SEC. We dictate the schedule around here.
Hey, do you have a second?
We're the greatest conference in college football. We make the little guys come to us, then we cut them a check, whoop their butt, and send them home.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry, y'all. Coach said that 2 a.m. games in the desert were actually good for passing yards.
You mean the same coach that walks barefoot through an office that's decorated like an Alvin's Island? What's wrong with you? Did you swallow a Zen pouch again?
No, I just had like a little scary with Texas.
You lost to Texas?
Almost lost to Texas. Okay, at least one of your precious top 10 teams did not lose this weekend.
I hate you so much. Well, that still doesn't make us look great. You got to go out there and show SEC superiority. We were all rooting for you.
Who is we? I would lick every peg game at a Cracker Barrel before I root for Alabama. I'm just going to say it. I think they paid the refs. They missed a lot of calls. I know Alabama is not complaining about the refs. I'm just saying I think we should reevaluate letting Texas come in here. Or you just let me play them twice.
Arkansas, wait, did you?
Oh, yeah.
But did you?
No, I did not crush South Carolina's spirit. That does not seem possible for some reason. I'm still full of unearned optimism. They didn't even let me bring my marching band.
They gave you seats.
Well, not for the whole $1 million band, just like 75 cents worth.
Texas is coming, okay, y'all? That is a done deal. I mean, yes, they're not as good as they were a decade ago. And maybe the boosters are slowly destroying the program.
Did somebody say my name?
Here I was thinking this was going to be an easy week too, but apparently not. So did anybody else here struggle with an unranked out-of-conference opponent?
Not this guy.
Good to hear. Can somebody translate?
Yeah, he was a shutout.
Thank you. Oh, Auburn.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but I'm a basketball school now. You can do both. It's not hard. Hey, go ahead and put me down for first place in the East.
Okay. But you know that's probably not going to last, right?
Well, that's what you think. Along with a lot of other people. I just like to look at it, okay?
Florida, are you okay? You didn't buy into the hype, did you?
No, I still owe Dan Mullen like $12 million, so I can't afford to buy anything. I regret to inform the conference that my winning streak is no longer intact.
Oh, but we're still so proud of you for starting 2-0.
Why are y'all so easy on him?
Well, because he's our sweet, precious little genius, yes you are.
He's really not that sweet.
Well, let me guess, you two lost then, didn't you?
Nope. I've been telling y'all, Tennessee is back, baby.
You know how this is going to end, right?
Oh, yeah. Somehow that makes it hurt even worse. Yeah, it's not the case here. Go ahead and put an L by my name.
Oh, I did before the season even started. Please tell me that it was at least close.
Not even a little bit.
And I'm sure they weren't even ranked.
No, but they were a Power 5 school.
Well, yeah. We don't lose to schools that play their bowl game a week before Christmas.
What? You don't know? Ooh, I need to get out of here.
Know what?
That I dominated. Does that make up for last week?
No, it was Southern.
Yeah, but I put 65 on them.
Good Lord, LSU, that's your neighbor. There's only like 2 Raising Canes between y'all.
Yeah, Coach saw that Notre Dame score and got real nervous.
What happened to Notre Dame?
They lost to Marshall.
A Sun Belt school? Oh man, that is embarrassing.
He really doesn't know. I think I'm going to throw up again.
Oh, A&M. I'm sorry. I did not mean to leave you out. Honestly, I don't have any information on your game except that it was apparently a cupcake week.
No.
And you paid them $1.5 million to come to you.
Are you doing this on purpose?
Well, that's a lot of zeros. I just assumed that you got the W.
No, never do that.
You do have one of the highest paid coaches in the #1 recruiting class in the country. I tell you what, this little shining star, that's the future. What is that noise?
So everybody locked their cars, right? Y'all remember, lift with your knees. Oh, this ain't my first rodeo. Expand the playoffs now, cowards.
Wow.
Look, I'm just going to be honest here.
Full disclosure. Now, what is y'all's relationship?
Okay, Matt and I were best friends throughout from the time we were like second graders.
So what happened to you?
I'm here with you.
Well,
Matt's always been funny. He was always the comedic relief of our friend group, I assure you.
Well,
and he's continued that to this day.
Well, I'm glad he's figured out a way to use it for good.
Yeah, well,
you know,
me
unless you're Texas A&M,
I complain every week. So,
man.
But I mean, look, he kind of nails it in hilarious fashion. Look, I mean, the SEC is not supposed to lose those games, and yet here we are. That being said, the Sun Belt, as you said, out here flexing
and getting paid
to flex.
Yeah,
and
coming in your house, stealing your dinner and your money.
Mr. Steel Girl.
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, it's that. I don't know that a conference has had a better week, and I mean, he didn't even mention Marshall.
Well, he did, because that's how he found out that A&M lost.
Oh, yeah.
Notre Dame saw the Brian Kelly score again.
Right.
Brian Kelly saw Notre Dame and said, okay, maybe we need to pay attention here. We can't be doing crazy stuff. That being said, Notre Dame drops out of the rankings. Okay. Georgia moved up after shutting out Samford 33-0. It wasn't like they just went out and they didn't put 65 on them.
No,
but Samford's good. Samford's a ranked FCS team. This is not.
I mean, Chris Hatcher's still there, right? He does a pretty good job.
They're solid. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But if if Ohio State dropped from 2 to 3 in the rankings because of their performance against Notre Dame. And then you see this week at Notre Dame, how do they not drop more? Again, win or lose. And did you ever vote in the AP poll?
Not for football.
And just thought process here. Work this out with me. When you're voting on the AP poll, if you had a vote, are you looking at the results of that week, or are you looking at their seasons as a whole?
Once I have established my top 25, I'm looking at the results of that week. What did those teams do that week? Because I feel like to do otherwise kind of dilutes the work that you did previously. If you've got your top 25, then as long as your top 25 continues to win, pretty much, to me, they stay. And then they move up and down depending on what they do, or they move out from week to week, I guess, depending on what they've done. If I've got somebody at 22 who dropped from 17 and then they lose again, they might fall out, but it's a week to week thing. I'm not considering the entire season at that point.
So in a Notre Dame Ohio State case, it's just 2 weeks. Does that play a factor at all? Like, clearly Notre Dame, I might have had them in my top 10, but clearly they're not a top 10 team.
Right.
Now, their quarterback did get hurt and is out for some time. Period of time. So, but I mean, if they're not good enough to be in your top 25, a team that got a struggle win over them at home, to me, that says, okay, maybe they're also not as good as I thought they were. Maybe let's do some extra evaluation on that particular team.
And that makes sense. I mean, excuse me. You can't say, well, they beat them and they're no longer in there. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's a perfectly logical approach.
And maybe it's a team by team basis. Because obviously, I mean, you can look at Texas and Alabama and go, Alabama sure didn't look like the number 1 team in the country to me. They also didn't look like the number 2 team in the country to me. They look like about the number 5 or 6 team in the country.
But the thing about it is, you've got a lot of different folks taking a lot of different approaches.
Sure.
To their votes. And so that's how you come up with,
which is why it's an average. I get that.
Yeah. But goodness gracious, I can't even tell how many voters there are. They've got them listed on here.
Well, how many first place votes were there?
63.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
I mean, to me, that and a lot of folks still had Alabama number 1. They still got what, 9 first place votes. That seems like a lot.
9 out of 63 for a team that
had to survive to advance and should have. But there's that. I will say this. I thought the officials on the replay did what you're supposed to do with a replay on the targeting foul safety call. They went to the replay, figured out exactly what happened, or at least what they thought happened in replay time, and made the correct call on the field. That's all I've asked for replay. It's all you've asked for replay. Just get the correct call.
Yeah.
And they went in, said, neither of these two things happened, but here is what did happen. Here's what we're going to do.
Right.
I love that. Let's see that more often from officials. Now, via still shots, it does appear that Bryce Young. I was thinking Byron, Tennessee.
No.
Sorry. Bryce Young's calf may have hit the ground before he threw the ball. But you're not looking for that as an official in the replay because you're looking for something. You're looking for targeting. You're not looking at his legs. So they didn't call intentional grounding. One, because the running back was standing at the goal line, and two, the ball hit the Texas defender's helmet, making it a tipped pass. So therefore, it could not be intentional grounding in the end zone for a safety. I thought they did a good job getting it right. Obviously, with some still shots that we've seen since then, it looks like it still should have been a safety.
Right.
But
in a 1-point game,
I do want to. Well, I mean, they probably go for 2 at least to tie, but then you got overtime, and who knows? But I thought I wanted to commend the Big 12 officials for doing that and getting it right as they saw it in replay.
Here's my question: how were they Big 12 officials?
That's got to be something in the contract.
Because I thought that typically in a cross-conference game like that, it's the visiting team's conference that supplies the officials.
And it was in Pittsburgh, and
they were SEC officials in Pittsburgh?
I believe, yes.
Okay.
And that is typically the case. My guess is that that was just part of the contract negotiations, that the home team would have the officials, and that was probably just so they didn't have to travel and put them up and, all that jazz. But
Alabama and Texas.
Yeah, I know.
I can't imagine it being an issue.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know why, but yes, typically that is the way it happens.
Okay,
it
all right.
Wasn't, so whatever. I don't know. But anyway, crazy weekend.
Yeah. And our pick'ems kind of showed it.
Yeah, I was 6-4. You were 5-5, so we are now tied on the year. So there you go.
It's not pretty.
6-4 was not great. BYU, the only top 25 team that covered the spread.
Parity, baby. That's what people want to see, right?
I do.
Yeah.
All right. We've got to get out of here. We are already late. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be back tomorrow, maybe. Very well may be best of. But 2 o'clock, Main Street Sports Today. I'll be back in studio on Friday. We'll probably make some high school picks and some college picks, and it'll just be a crazy day Friday.
Yep.
So y'all come back with us. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. From Mo, I'm Chris. Have a great day.